The Model 1857 light 12-pounder gun, also known as the Napoleon, was far and away the most popular smoothbore cannon used during the Civil War. It was lighter and more powerful than previous 12-pounders and was either made of bronze or iron. It had a 66-inch tube, weighed between 1,200 and 1,300 pounds, and weighed around 2,500 pounds with cannon and carriage. Confederate Napoleons produced in at least 6 variations, most of which had straight muzzles, but some of which had a muzzle swell similar to the Federal version. In December 1862, General Robert E. Lee complained to the Confederate Secretary of War that his army desperately needed more Napoleon guns to counter those in use by the Northern Army. The lack of Napoleons, Lee wrote, left his artillery very unequal to their opponents, with results which were discouraging to our artillerists. Lee proposed that large numbers of his army's bronze cannon be melted down and recast into Napoleons. He had summarized his position by stating that the best guns for field service, in my opinion, are the 12-pounder Napoleons and 2 other varieties of field pieces. The Napoleon acquired its name because of its design was first sponsored by Emperor Louis Napoleon of France in the 1850s. In United States service, the Napoleon gun was formally designated as Light 12-pounder Gun Model 1857. There were only a few dozen in existence in the United States when the Civil War began in 1861, but by the time of the Battle of Gettysburg in 1863, Napoleons had become the most popular smoothbore cannon for both sides. Before the war ended, more than 1,100 Napoleons had been produced in the North and more than 600 in the South. Late in 1864, General Lee's army was using more Napoleons than all other varieties of cannon combined. The Napoleon gun was so very widely used because it was as effective as its predecessors, but much lighter and more mobile. It was popular because it did its cruel work so well. Solid shot, explosive shell, spherical case shot, and canister could all be fired with deadly effect. Effective range was about 1,100 yards, and maximum range was nearly 1 mile. Rifled cannon fire could fire further and more accurately, but were not so successful with canister. Confederate ammunition for rifled guns suffered from such damaging shortcomings that Southern gunners were particularly partial to the use of Napoleons. On either side of the line, no type of Civil War artillery was more widely or effectively used. These miniature replica Civil War era Napoleon cannons are historically accurate and do have rolling wheels and tilting cannon tubes. Available with brass or bronze barrels, with several carriage styles and in many different sizes. These miniatures are made in the USA by Americana Souvenirs. You may view any of these replicas or a full selection of Civil War era replicas and accessories at replicaweaponry.com.